If you're talking sports, it's the matchup. Mickey here with Zizzy, yo, we cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is, the Mickey Zizzy podcast. And it is draft day. No, I'm not Drake. I'm not going to start rapping towards y'all, but I am excited. A lot of new faces and a lot of things to discuss. It's been a little bit. We're talking about consistency is key. I promise we got things cut up. Things are coming. Bear with us, y'all. We still learning too. Everybody is here, though. Consistency is key is the motto. This is season 4, episode 5. I got it wrong last time, but we back for season 4, episode 5. Drive for 5. Let's get it. You know what it is. We're back at it. Sponsored by Pinnacle Supplementation. www.pinnaclesup.com. Make sure you go check out their new products. Check out the merch. Use the Mickey Zizzy discount code. We're here for y'all. On top of that, we got our main man, Grant Anderson. I was talking about cutting up some things behind the scenes. I mean, maybe a little dabble into his personal life. Whatever's going on. I'm not trying to spoil nothing, but I'm just excited. Here we are, back at it. Mickey Hines, talk to me. What's up, buddy?
Somebody call McDonald's and give me some nuggets. It's episode 5. Nuggets in 5. How about it?
Oh, you want to start it like that? All right.
Obviously, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals. Like we said, it has been a minute, but it's because of your boy right here. Me and the wife, we had to go on a lovely trip to Key Largo, visit the Sunshine State for the honeymoon. Obviously, I'm taking full blame. Typically, I blame Zizzy here on the podcast about us not being consistent, but I'm taking full blame. All right, I take full blame. We're going to get better. Consistency is key, and y'all, he said it right. We got stuff cooking right now, just like how the Nuggets cook the Heat. But before we get into
chill, all right? God.
Before we get into this action-packed episode, we do have a little bit more of a serious of a matter and kind of a rebranding of one of our actually the most common sub-segment in our show, and that is the Person of the Week. We've gone with the G for 3 Person of the Week, kind of took that name off, but this one's going to stick. We obviously tell people on this podcast to tell your loved ones that you love them, right? Don't be afraid to tell your mom, your dad, brother, sister that you love them. Tell your friends that you love them because you never know when life happens. And a good friend of ours, Jared Mason, and actually his father, guest on this show. He was Interview of the Year nominee in season 1. Mark Mason did pass away. He lost his fight with a whole bunch of some really bad medical problems. And we just want to give, a huge love and support to the Mason family. I know he's going to be up there telling all the Angels, first down. He's going to be cheering on those Rams up there as well. And just talk about it as such an amazing person and just such a good dude that we are going to change the Person of the Week to the Mark Mason Person of the Week because live like Moss. That's what I was kind of live like Mark Mace. That's what I was telling Jared when I was texting him. And we just want to give a huge, like I said, huge support and a huge shout out to them because they obviously deserve it. So, you can kind of shine your light on this as well real quick, but we obviously are making that change.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer for us to change the Person of the Week to the Mark Mason Person of the Week. That's the least we can do. For obviously, again, someone that was a part of the podcast, someone that was obviously just big supporters of us as people in general. This was a guy that was just a great dude, like overall. I'm talking a good father, was a great friend to, and so nice to most everybody that I've ever known him to be around. Just to absolutely extend himself far and beyond to what he ever had to do. We talk about him being the super fan of Cornell. I'm talking about like this guy was everybody's second dad on the sideline. Like it didn't matter who you were. He made you feel loved. He made you feel respected. And he was there for you. If you needed anything, he obviously reached out to us. We were a part of a summer camp with him. We spent time with him at his house. We had a good relationship with him, and it's unfortunate that we seem to lose like the really good ones earlier than we're supposed to. But cancer and health and medical issues are scary and they're tough, and you just never know when stuff is going to happen or when it's your time. But obviously, we love Mark. We love the whole family, Jared, Kendra, Mia, Kylie. All of you guys, you're all in our prayers. But yeah, there's not much more to say. We don't know what you guys are feeling necessarily, but it is
I mean,
It's we love
we
them.
all talked about it, like, wow, you know, and I went and called my mom later that day, you know, told her the news, just told her that I loved her and whatnot. And you said everything right, Zizzy. I mean, there's not too much more to say about him. I just how a great person he was. Like you said, we went to their camp, we went to their house,
Yeah,
you know, I was in
man.
their
I mean,
pool, like hung out a lot with him.
I still got the cup. I might have to go snag that here in a sec.
Go.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, made us Yetis. I mean, he was, you know, some of our biggest fans. But you know, obviously, that's kind of my personal week is Jared Mason. I know you're going through tough times. We're sending all those positive vibes as much as we possibly can to you. We're gonna try to be there to support you, you know, physically there or, you know, mentally there for you, and always sending our best regards for you. But just know that like you're heavily supported, and you should be damn proud of Mark Mason. Like I know he is.
absolutely. And I
But
know, and Jared's gonna make him proud. I mean, already had. I
oh
mean, he
yeah,
was so proud. He was so proud of Jared to begin with, and all of his kids, and everything that he stood for. I mean, he lived a happy and fulfilling life up until, I mean, medical issues just took the best part of it. But I mean, it is what it is. So, we love Mark. We love the whole family. He's the absolute man, and we'll always remember him as that. So this is now the Mark Mason person of the week, and that's going to be the person of the week for both of
exactly.
us.
Yeah,
Absolutely, hands down.
it is. And like we said, great people, great family. But we just want to show them that, like, because they came on our show. I mean, Mark came on our show. Like, we gotta
Yeah,
give credit. Like,
man.
he was the dude. We were
It's
so
not even, yeah,
excited.
it's not even just that. I mean, like the man slept, like the man let us sleep in his at his place. The man offered his food. Like this is good people. He was more than he ever needed to be for us. So
Amen. Yes, with that being said, we've already made that change. That'll happen. Mark Mason person of the week, and we'll drop it every week, obviously. But that tagline is gonna be there forever.
yeah.
For this show. But let's move on to our show. Like I said, we're gonna move not move past it, but you know, continue on with us. But we wanted to shine light on the situation that went down. But we are gonna talk about NBA Finals because that is the biggest slash like latest news we have not got to talk about. And I know you're sad and I'm gonna be sad. This is gonna be a very emotional podcast here today. But Zizzy, I've already been talking a little bit of smack, but that's only because y'all beat us. Talk that smack because I know you would be talking the absolute trash on this podcast if the Heat would have won as an 8th seed. Jimmy buckets, but give me the lowdown of
I
like
mean,
how
it
you
would have
felt.
been, I will say, it would have been the greatest playoff run of all time. That's facts. However, though, no, still proud of the Heat, still proud of our performance. I thought every single game was a fight. We were gritty, we never quit. I mean, geez, man, when it comes down to just how the Nuggets played as an overall unit, I mean, their role players stepped up all playoffs. Bruce Bowen and Michael Porter. I mean, everybody, man, every single person was just lights out shooting when they needed to be. Aaron Gordon's making 3-pointers from all over the place. Since when was that happening? I mean, and then you got the dynamic duo. I mean, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. What more is there to be said? I mean, Bam brought his A game. I can't even be mad at Bam. And usually he's the one that I use as a scapegoat when we start losing. I can't be mad at Bam. He brought everything he had, and it still couldn't stop Joker from getting 30, 40 point triple doubles. I mean, the guy was just on a tear. He was setting records. At the end of the day, they were the better team. I think most people would agree with that. But I mean, I'm proud of it how we performed. It's still depressing to see it happen in front of you, and then you think you're going to extend it at least to 6, and we have close losses the last couple games, and it never sucks. It doesn't really, or like no loss is worse than another. They all suck, man. So
I
happy to
mean,
get there, but here we go.
that's the
Off
thing.
season, we're bringing it back.
The Heat magic, you know, like the pixie dust I was bestowing on the Heat this year, really felt Caleb Martin and Struce and all
It's
them
culture.
were all shooting terribly. Like they came alive. It was a Caleb Martin game. We lost to the shooters, the undrafted players, and they started playing like that a little bit, right? They did not rely on that. They didn't have those big games, you know. You didn't have the Duncan Robinson game. You didn't have the Gabe Vincent game, right? And like a lot of the other series, like that's gonna bail you out, but that's what good teams are made of. That's why the Heat got there. But let's talk about the Nuggets. They went and did that. Jamal Murray in game 4 didn't have a good game, but guess what? Aaron Gordon showed out like he was, you know, number 1 in the Orlando Magic. 27, 7 to 6. From your number 3, your number 4, depending on what Michael Porter Jr. does, right? And then Bruce Brown,
So frustrating.
21, Bruce Brown. Like, my man was playing on the
Um,
Nets, I felt like just a while ago. And like that last game, it was a 5-point game when y'all were in it. You were, trying to climb back, and the Nuggets were just making all the right plays, which there's a variable questionable call. He kicked him. If that was Draymond Green, that's an offensive foul, but it did not impact the game. But it was this close from doing so, which was bogus. I was freaking out because that's, of course, the call that goes the Miami Heat's way. But I won't dwell too much on that. But 15-point dub in game 3. That was kind of all locked up. 13 in game 4. Game 2 is the one that y'all won.
Game 4 and game 5 played a lot closer than the score, I think, would say, especially game. Well, I mean, game 5 was going to be close, but I'm just talking about game 4. Game 3 was the only game where I would say Denver just put it to us. They really just
it was closer. And like the thing is, the crazy thing about it, Zizzy, is y'all had a chance, even with the Nuggets playing really, really well. If they would have played slightly like they did against Boston in game 7, this is a 7-game series. Easy. And that's coming from me where I do not like the Heat.
I mean, and to me, and I mean, I'm not making the excuses, but we sputtered on offense. We didn't have that spark that we had when we were playing against everybody in the Eastern Conference when we were in there, especially in the ECF finals. So we missed Tyler Hero. We did at the end of that series.
And more solidified.
Well, not even more so at the end, but I'm just saying, like, for him to not be there healthy and to be able to provide that spark when we were down shooting wise, that hurt. That would have been very helpful. But aside from that, I mean, yeah, just it was a game of matchups, and regardless of how well we seemed to play at times, they would always answer.
And that was the thing. It was just answer after answer after answer. And are we on the brink of that dynasty? I mean, this team on paper, we always said they couldn't get it done. Well, Yank, they just did. And we'll talk about their parade in just a second. Like, it was electric. It was awesome. I love watching the parades and celebrations. Like, that's even asked Kaylee. She's like, why do you like watching? I'm like, I don't know. It's cool. I like it. Spraying champagne, like with the goggles on, catching beers, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fun. But I feel like we're on a brink of a dynasty or like the best in the West.
Oh,
Like,
I just don't like
they're
that word
young.
so early.
They have the
So
dudes.
early. I know
Exactly.
they're young,
They
but
won it
still
early.
so early.
Then we still would be talking about if they're a dynasty team, like, oh, they've made it to the finals, they're gonna win it next year, right? But now they already won it. Like, they have the squad. What are they lacking? Maybe another big man.
I'm saying they gotta go and win, and this like they gotta go defend it if they want to start thinking dynasty.
So you're saying they gotta win one more to be considered.
I don't think you can ever be a dynasty with just one ring.
Okay, I agree. But do you think we're on the brink of that? Do you think they're gonna win next year?
I mean, I think they have a top 3 chance. I think we got to wait and see because, as we can already tell from the beginning, NBA offseason is crazy. So we have no idea.
We're going to talk about it.
Yeah. We don't necessarily know how stuff is going to end up, but absolutely, you'd be crazy to think they're not top 3 chance of winning the championship right now.
I can agree with that. Top 3 chance. I mean, you got to beat them. Like, they're the champs until they're not, right? You got to beat them.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the chemistry. They've done it now. They've got the experience. They're all together. They are very young, especially for their 4 top 2-3 players. Like,
I mean, they're all like below 30.
I understand. Yeah, I want to say Joker's 28, Murray's 26. Like,
Aaron Gordon's like 27.
I'm 26. Okay, like, that's me in the NBA right now. Okay, that's me in the NBA.
But Yank, I was right. I just want to put that out there. Nuggets in 5, and the better team won at the end of the day. And if he had another superstar, right? Bam showed up finally for you. Like, you were so right. Like, Bam played great. Jimmy Butler didn't play like Jimmy Buckets that he needed to, but like, if he puts that performance up with another, like with the Damian Lillard, where I've been hearing talks about that, like, okay, that's scary. If those two can put up 20, and then you got Damian Lillard who's going to do Dame things.
For me, I'm gonna go all the way back and blame Josh Hart. He didn't need to slide tackle Jimmy Butler in the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs, and shatter his ankle and just ruin it for the rest of the playoffs.
Stop. Yeah,
I
you
will
can't even
say, I
finish
will
that
say though,
sentence.
I will say Jimmy was never the same after his ankle injury.
He's still putting up
I'm not
buckets. He's
saying,
getting 30.
I'm not saying he's injured. I wasn't saying that.
You're
I'm just
blaming
saying
it on an injury.
he did not, he
Zachary
fell
Yankovic
out
is
of
blaming
that
it on an injury.
takeover. He fell out of that takeover 50, 40 point game,
So I can
takeover.
blame the Celtics loss on Jason Tatum injury in game 7, from according to your logic.
Oh, I'm not serious about the ankle injury. I've said that. I
I
just
was
said that.
about to say, I was about to freak.
No, I just said he's not, it's not anything you can actually blame. The man played every game.
Yeah,
He
I hear
himself will
you.
say you can't blame that. But it is worth noting he never like seemed to have those takeover games after that happened. And it was just like, did he fall out of rhythm? Or is that a question, whether he tells us or not? I mean, whatever. But I mean, it's not going to change the outcome of what happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
Overall,
Jason Tatum, I've said that even after game 7, when he
I
hurt his
used that. I know.
ankle,
I said Jalen Brown's got to show up, right? Marcus Smart, Al Horford, like someone else has got to step
what
up.
was it? Jalen Brown shot like two of 14 or something at
Yeah,
one
that
point.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
uh the
They went
parade
crazy.
though. I remember Jokic was the most humble guy. Like for you to win the NBA title, the first thing you say is, "The job is done. We can
I
go
get to
home."
go home now.
I'm like, dude, I'm scared. Like that alone is why I'm saying like dynasty talk. Like that's crazy. But then he was on the parade. And he's like, "I don't want to go home. I like the parade." I was like, "Let's go!" Like that's exciting. But they had a blast. But Coach Malone, oh my goodness, he like we've always heard like the Tom Brady like, oh, whoever gets the most mess up. J.R. Smith ever put on a shirt, right? All these like crazy parade memories that we've had of sports. Coach Malone went crazy. He went crazy. And
How
that's
you
also
like
like
that?
the coach, was that. And they're calling out the Lakers for some odd reason. I'm like, okay, don't do that. A little over the top. Like, hey, they're the champs. Like, they can do
I
whatever.
was that, yeah. They're a little bit salty about LA for some reason. I
I
don't know why.
know. And they did them pretty well. I mean, they
No,
handled it
I think it's all like media driven in a way. But
for real.
I
But
just think it's funny.
I loved watching it. It was awesome. There's absolutely sweet. But and they do a great job covering it.
Yeah, and yeah, you see Bruce Bowen, you see Caldwell Pope, you see all of them, like just Jeff Green, Uncle Jeff getting his first ring.
Yep.
Like you see all that stuff happening, that going
DeAndre
crazy. I
Jordan,
love,
like,
yeah, Christian Braun shooting the champagne off the back of the
okay,
bus.
hear
Gotta
me out
love
though.
all
Okay, yeah. Last thing though, Christian Braun for some reason never put on like the NBA Final Champion shirt. Look at all the photos. Like they all have their final shirts on, and he didn't. I'm like, what? You too good for that, bro? Like I was a little salty.
I mean, don't take it like that. I mean, the man's out
I
there.
kind of did.
Uh,
Like
maybe.
you're too good to put on. Like you just won the NBA Finals. You want to rock your number, like your shirt. Like, dude, it's a team game. Which he did come up big. Like he was a great role player, great pick for them. A year ago. Uh, But yeah, man. Anything else about your Heat losing? I mean, I would say I hate to see it, but
Say it so bluntly. No, no, actually. Other than the fact that we're superstar hunting. You go get us one more person to put, and I'm gonna say it now. I'm gonna speak it. Dame Lillard, come to Miami,
okay.
baby.
I mean, we're
Come
gonna
to Miami, Dame.
perfect segue. We're gonna talk about the trades of the offseason. And y'all, the NBA offseason trades have gone way up, way crazy. And that's why people like the NBA. I mean, first off, we had an 8 seed versus the Nuggets. We haven't seen the Nuggets in the finals. That's why people are saying like basketball, the NBA is back. Like that's fun. It's new faces, not the same crews. And you get to see guys in different jerseys, guys playing with different teams. Like that's exciting. It's like we're playing 2K IRL. And if you are the Miami Heat, you're Pat Riley, right? You're trying to get together this team. You're talking with Eric Spoelstra, like, all right, what dudes do we need to go get? Do you ship Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and Max Strus for Damian Lillard?
It wouldn't take all three of those people.
Okay, two. So we'll say Hero and Duncan, or Hero and
I don't think that Miami is willing to give up Hero for anything.
so Duncan, Vincent, and Strus. Like I think you gotta get rid of those three for Dame. Dame just had a 30 point per game season. Or two of those guys in a first.
No, because we have picks too.
I was about to say, so you say
I
what?
think you have to give up two and picks.
How many picks?
Probably 2 to 3.
I would say that 2 first, a second,
I
Duncan
would say it'd
Robinson,
probably
Gabe
be
Vincent,
Duncan. It's going to be Duncan
for sure.
and uh, I don't know, probably Vincent or somebody that because it's got to be somebody young. They won't really take the Lowry unless Lowry's thrown in as the third person,
Instead of
which
like
is okay, which would be okay.
yeah, it'd be definitely okay. You have Damian
Yeah,
Lillard.
I'd take that. I'd take that. But that's the only three-person involvement I see. Aside from that, I see it's going to probably be like it'll be Duncan and somebody, and it'll be like 2 seconds in a first or two firsts in a second or something like that.
Gotcha. I mean, I definitely see it.
And 100% do it. I'd do it every time.
And the Heat have to, and like that's the thing is like they were a half away from losing to the Chicago Bulls in the play-in tournament from not even making the dance. And obviously they went and had a historical playoff run, but like I wouldn't say they got lucky, but the dudes really balled out. But is that consistent? Right? You want to be a dominant Nuggets team where you're going 4-1, and obviously they did that against the Bucks. I get it, but like they can be way better than what they are, and we know it. I say go make the trade for Dame. I don't know why I want.
That's the only thing I can hope for, really. I mean, there's so many rumors right now. I don't know what to think, but
You're
that's
telling
what
me.
that's what I'm hoping for.
You're telling me because I mean, obviously we're doing this actually right
Yeah,
now.
what do you think?
Well, I thought we were done talking about Celtics since we lost, but here we go. Sad day on the Making Sense podcast.
Oh, sad day.
We are watching the NBA draft. This is actually live, so if we see some crazy trades, we're gonna be able to like say it as this is happening. We're gonna do our draft recap next episode, so be ready to tune into that. But it was late last night, actually. Right before I go to bed, I check my Twitter right before I go to bed, kind of like the routine, got done brushing the teeth, flossing, doing all the good things. And I go and I actually lean over to Haley. I'm like, I might cry. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, they're gonna trade Marcus Smart. What? Did he win like some award? I'm like, yeah, DPOY. I get it. Defensive player of the year. And we just traded him. He is the locker room guy. He is the glue guy. He is the spark on this basketball team. I'm still repping him, and I still will. I'll be a Marcus Smart fan for life. I love his game, his hustle. Like that is me. If I was an NBA player, that's how I play basketball. Absolutely love it. And to see him go absolutely hurts. We were supposed to trade Malcolm Brogdon, and I loved it. Even though he was the sixth man of the year, I love trading. Sweet, I'll go get Chris. That's like I do not hate Porzingis, Zizzy, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. I like
Oh,
Porzingis. And I
really?
had to do my research. At first, I just lost one of my favorite players on the Celtics. Like, I'm obviously going to be hurt, right, and sad. But let's look at this. Okay, so we lost Smart, right? All the good things I said about him. You'll get Porzingis. Okay. Porzingis just had his best offensive season this year. 20 plus points. Let's see here. 23 points and 8 rebounds. That's exactly what I want on the Boston Celtics. A guy who can score in the post, a guy who can score in mid-range and do it by himself against the big guy instead of dribble drive type of guy, an ISO type of guy like JB and JT. That's great. Let him go get boards. He's still explosive. He's still trying to prove a name for himself. I think he's still got a little bit, under it because he played the third most games in his career this year. He's been injury bugged. That's why I was a little worried.
I mean, come on. Let's look at the obvious.
But last year he played 65 games. And he's going to play. And I feel like with this team, he can take less minutes in the regular season. Have you heard of load management, Chris Stapps? Chris Stop, whatever you
Is
want to call
he?
Porzingis, the
I know he's
unicorn.
big. He's big. Is he that good defensively?
Yes, he had the most blocks he had in his career. I think 1.7. Like he was up there with the elite guys. Zizzy. Okay, and Marcus Smart, he's not to go defend a guy in the post though. Like we got another post defender,
I'm
right?
just saying,
He's a
and
way better defender than
I'm
Al
not
Horford.
saying Porzingis is bad. I'm just talking about like you just let go of DPOY, man.
I know, and I'm hurt because of it, but that means Derek White's gonna have to step up. That means yeah, that means Malcolm Brogdon's gonna have to step up if he stays with the squad, right? Or we did get 2 draft picks. That's why I thought it was better. Like we actually got a lot from Marcus Smart. 2 first-round draft picks and Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, what if we go get a tenacity, a Sasser from Houston? What if we go get Chris Murray? Right, those are good defenders. You will get them to kind of make up for that, and you have Porzingis who can house an elite rim protector.
Did you guys get
I
two
like
first
that.
rounders this year?
Yes. No, one this year, one the following year. Kind of
What
nice.
pick did you get this year?
First, the 25th.
25th. Okay.
Yes. So, and then, and I was like, okay, I want to compare this guy with whoever. So I kind of looked at Anthony Davis numbers. Anthony Davis is way better than Porzingis. I was like, okay, so like we're not like that good with it. So then I went and looked at Karl Anthony Towns. This past year, he went 20-8. So that means we have another Karl Anthony Towns on our squad. He can shoot the three. Porzingis can shoot the three too. All right. Then let's go look at Kevin Durant's stats. 26-6. Only 3 less points than Kevin Durant, one of the most elite scorers of the basketball in the NBA. Okay. We got ourselves another score. We got ourselves another big three. Yank, that's what I talked myself into. I like it. Actually, it's a love-hate. Like, I can't, not you, Siri. I can't get behind it. As you can tell, I'm rambling here on the podcast about this because it's a very, very big issue for me as a Celtics fan. It hurts, but you know what? Brad Stevens is one of the best at it, and I trust him, and I love Porzingis, but it's kind of like Thanos. It's my last thing I'll say about it. Remember when Thanos got all the Infinity Stones, or he went and got the Soul Stone, and he had to push Gamora off, and it was all sad. People who haven't seen it in Endgame, sorry. And then it's that like scene, and then the little girl's like, "What did it cost you?" And then he goes, "Everything." That's exactly how I felt. The Celtics were legit Thanos, and that was little Marcus Smart. Like, what did it cost you for us to go win a ring? If this gets us a ring, like I'm gonna look back at this, like I called it. But Zizzy, as you can tell, I'm just rambling at this point and telling everything that's on my mind because I haven't got to tell
Please,
anyone about
please.
this.
No, I just like so I was bringing up those questions because that's what I have to worry about when it comes to this trade. Like, is he really worth the defensive replacement? Yes, he's got length, he's got height. Yes, he gets out blocks, but is he the same type of internal defensive player? Can he really step up and guard somebody on the perimeter the same way that Marcus Smart can? Marcus Smart picks up every primary offensive player on every single team.
Yes.
Kristaps, I'm not going to say can do that. So that's my only worry. But I do like the idea of the Boston Celtics, at least from your guys' standpoint, as a Heat fan. I just hope it ruins you. But the with Kristaps, I actually do for the Celtics. I really like the idea of having a stretch four type of player, like a true stretch four.
Yes,
player.
we haven't had that since.
No, and he can go out and like you said, he can shoot the three. He does have a mid-range shot. He doesn't have the worst handle in the world for somebody as big as he is. He can move. He's
He was the
mobile.
original unicorn before we saw tonight. The Spurs
He's mobile. He's actually a great player still when he's on the court. I'm just going to continuously worry about, are you getting more? I mean, yes, with the picks and stuff, like, yeah, you guys won the trade, but I'm saying, like, are you getting more on an on-court, like, from an overall impact? Like, you're over here bringing up stats, talking about him being 3 rebounds under or 3 points under Kevin Durant. Aside from that, they're like the same player. You know it's not the same type of impact on the court. Come on, man. Don't talk about
statistically.
Porzingis
I'm
like
all
in the
about
same
stats.
breath like that.
I'm all about stats. Statistically, he's
I
very.
know you're all about stats, but
close.
that's where I'm saying you got to separate stat from what your eyes also tell you a little bit.
And that's the thing
Because
with Marcus
he
Smart.
can
Like,
shoot
on the
he can
court, you
shoot,
can
he
tell.
can stretch the floor, but is he that same on court impact? I don't know.
Well, I get that, and that's the thing. When you saw Marcus Smart, he did leave an impact defensively. Like, he was that locker room guy. Like, it's a whole lot more behind the scenes of keeping this team intact, and to give them a high morale when they're playing basketball. End all be all. To kind of update my favorite basketball teams, it goes Boston Celtics, wherever the Ball brothers go, and wherever Marcus Smart goes. So I guess I'm a Grizz fan, my 4th favorite team in the
I
NBA.
wasn't, dude. The Grizz getting him is big though.
It's
The
actually
Grizzlies
huge.
getting him
And
is
Marcus Smart,
actually huge.
yeah,
Is actually huge.
he
We
ain't
were
gonna
just
take no
talking about
smack.
teams with title chances. Like, I know Jaw's gone for 25 games, but hold up, man. Hold up.
Oh yeah. So that's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome, but good talk there. Real quick, some other trades. Bradley Beal to the Suns. We're trying to get all these big threes back. I guess the super team era is back. Like, are we trying to beat this Nuggets that's considered maybe a super team, quote unquote? So Bradley Beal goes there. Yank. I don't know. Do you think it was really that good? I mean, they do have an all-star lineup, but there's only one basketball. But at the end of the day, I think it makes him tremendously better. I think Bradley Beal can now be the number 3 option, and he can be a catch and shoot guy. He can be a guy that lights a spark. I love this for the Suns. It's gonna be KD and Bucks team, and Bradley Beal, if he can accept that role to be the third guy, like Chris Bosh did when he went to the Miami Heat back in 2014, like that's gonna be great for him. And I feel like at this point he's ring chasing. Like he did his, he was an all-star, this and that, all pro. But now it's time for him to go get a ring, and he went to the best chances. But granted, they're gonna have 8 dudes who can play basketball. So if you want to sign up for the Phoenix Suns, I think they're having tryouts because they got no cap space.
That's my point. Like as much as I mean, you talk about the lineup, it's just the starting lineup because they have 6 players on their roster. Okay, like they
You need
don't
5
have
to play.
anybody. They don't have anybody. Like they have 0 bench. They got nobody coming off. Even out of their stars, they're injury prone. I mean, KD's injury prone nowadays, as much as we want to say that he isn't. Bradley Beal is by far injury prone. Devin Booker's the only one out of those 3 that I can 100% count on. Yeah, you still got Ayton. Yeah, who is their 5th right now? I don't even know.
Cameron Payne.
Oh, okay. Well, Cameron, but still, I mean, those 2 are quality guys. But then after that, I literally don't think they have a roster at the moment. And we've seen in this past season, you gotta have a full team to win. The Nuggets just beat them basically doing the same thing. Yes, would Bradley Beal be a much better and bigger replacement than CP3? Yes. But are we going to guarantee he's going to be there? Are they going to all be healthy? We don't know yet. It's a big gamble. The talent it's crazy talent, especially between those 3. I just don't think it makes them deep enough or gives them any real shot to put anybody else around them to go and win it. So to me, everyone's talking about the Suns are the best team in the NBA after that trade, or some people are saying that.
I
I'm not
say
saying
no.
you did. I'm not saying you
Yeah,
did, but I'm just
I've
saying
heard
some
that.
people are actually willing to go out and say that right now, and I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, I can't get behind it because they also had James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and KD on the same team, and they didn't go win it. They had Devin Booker, CP3, and they didn't beat him against the Nuggets. So I'm not gonna hold anything to Kevin Durant. I'm sorry, you're still a great player, but like
They
this
have a
doesn't put them
new
above the
and
Nuggets.
it's a
I don't
new head coach.
exactly, and that's gonna be a new system, this and that. I mean, obviously, basketball is way less than like system play, like in football, but like I give them the 5th best chance, the 6th best chance to win the title.
I mean,
I'm
yeah, I'm
taking the
not saying they
Nuggets,
don't have a
but
chance, but it's just like we should pump the brakes and slow it down with saying like, yo, this is it. Like, yeah, I don't know
I'm
about
going
that.
to give them the same treatment we gave the Nuggets this year in the playoffs. You haven't won it. Katie, you haven't won it without, that's how I'm going to start taking the Suns team, because of the past we've saw. So I'm with you. Like people on the media, like you really think they're the best team? Like I know Bradley Beal's good, but where the Wizards been? He didn't carry no team. At least Devin Booker did with CP3 and DeAndre Ayton to a finals appearance. Kevin
I get
Durant
you.
was a
I
foot
get you.
away from a finals
I
appearance.
get you. I get you.
But obviously, then the last trade I do want to shine a little bit of light on is CP3 going to the Wizards
Yeah,
for
let's leave the
a
Suns.
day, and then he
The
is
Warriors.
going to. What is Golden State thinking? They do not need a very good point guard because they have the best shooter of all time. And I was talking about this in our chat actually with our good friend Daniel Brown. The Warriors offense is just constantly moving at ball movement. They already can do that without a good point guard compared to the Boston Celtics where we fumble it and we can't dribble drive and it's turnover. I don't see that with that Warrior so much. They need to get a more dominant big man. And I understand, like, they had a few good things. Like Draymond might be out the door. So like they're kind of a whole basket case too. But like who's he gonna start over? Are you moving Clay to the small forward? Steph's gonna be the 2? No. CP3 is gonna come off the bench and lead the second squad, which might not be that bad. Like if I'm playing devil's advocate here after the case I just made, like him coming off the bench won't be bad. But he's a Hall of Famer, and are you gonna let that happen?
I think the exact opposite. I think it's a fantastic trade. I think they gave up too much in general, like the trade overall. But if you again, we're just talking players and talent and fit. From the player perspective, not regarding the picks, because the Wizards are going to win this trade with the picks and everything else. I think it's perfect for Golden State. I think part of the reason they lose in the playoffs or have any of the issues that they had throughout the season, they can't win on the road, they have turmoil. This all started in preseason when Draymond punched Jordan Poole in the face.
And
There is a chemistry issue. You and I talked about it in previous episodes. There is a chemistry issue, and when you have that, it's going to mess with the team's success. I don't know if it was him getting his contract, if it was him and Draymond not being on the same page, especially after their incident, whatever it is. But like, yeah, whether it's the media pushing the narrative, I am unwilling to accept that there wasn't something going on between Jordan Poole and the Golden State Warriors. And then I know what you guys are, and so that's one thing. So now you get rid of him, you bring in CP3, who is a natural born leader, fits in. He's like a chameleon on any team that he's on. He's gonna fit in. I just I you know, yeah, little comparisons here and there, but I think it's perfect for them because you can move Steph to the two. You can. He is the greatest shooter of all time. Yes, he can ball handle, and he's going to have his opportunity to ball handle. But did you not just watch the playoff? They deferred to other people half the time. They would give Jordan Poole the ball to bring it down the court. They would give him like it wasn't just they set screens with Draymond for Steph to come off on a pivot and catch the ball and shoot in open space. He plays off the ball that position before. CP3 can now be the ultimate playmaker. I mean, he's got the Splash Brothers around him. And I say, now that Jordan Poole is gone, I 100% believe Draymond Green will be back because now there's no resistance there. So I think that's also a big key point that people aren't keying in on. I think this all ties together. They have that same core now with CP3 at the helm as the playmaker. And even so, if they don't do that and they keep Steph at the point and he gets to come off the bench and run the two, I mean,
okay, so
you
almost convinced me. No lie. I kind of like what you're saying, and what you're saying isn't wrong. Okay. But the thing is, CP3 is a liability at defense. I still think that like these premier, way more agile point guards.
Jordan Poole wasn't.
And I'll get to Jordan Poole. All right, that's the one part. Okay. The one part you're right is Jordan Poole. Yes, I think he's good. He's going to do really, really well in Washington. I think that's a great thing for him.
He'll be the guy.
Yeah, he'll be the dude, and he has the money, and he definitely earned it. He earned it when they beat the Celtics 2 years ago. He was the main priority of that, and then the off the court things with Draymond, with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
did he get paid and his attitude changed? Like, I don't. It's a question.
And whatever it may happen, we saw Draymond punch him at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We saw him punch him. All right, then that caused all the issues. So Draymond's gonna say, Draymond Green, I'm sorry. I called him a bona fide scrub on this show, and I take it back and I deliver it again. Like I go back and forth like a soccer team about this take. He's not gonna be as good. He's not gonna be as influential on the NBA court. Besides that glue guy. Well, if you're telling me CP3 can't play that good of defense, Draymond Green will be fine, but I don't think he's gonna be able to hold his own. He's gonna be kind of a little bit of a liability. And then Clay's getting up there in age. Steph's still going to do Steph. I think Steph's still going to be him. And maybe off the ball, he'll shoot better and less pressure on him. Like, I get with the part where he said, like, they forced Jordan Poole to take the ball up. You force CP3, great. You're in his own. Hopefully, I think James Wiseman's still on the squad. He'll get more play. Kuminga, sorry. Pardon me. Kuminga is a very good basketball player. He'll get some more PT. So if those guys can step up, this trade was good. But that starting lineup, I think, is going to fluctuate. I think if they go, it sounds crazy, go trade for one more guy, right? If you get rid of Draymond and go get a more dominant, like, center or a dominant power forward or stretch four, okay. But I am not ready to go to the take that you just said that it's great for them. I'm still thinking it's not a good pick for them. I think they will be worse than what they were this year.
I mean, agree to disagree.
But you brought up great points, and I'm not going to disregard that at all, Yank. Like, you almost sold me.
I mean,
I'm an honest
I agree. Like Jordan, I mean, the Wizards win the trade just because of the entire package that they get. Like, it's way too much for Chris Paul at this point in his career. But I mean, they're like we've already said, like their ball movement is that crazy. You're adding Chris Paul to that, people won't even see it coming. It's gonna be insane. Like, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry are going to shoot wide open threes. It's going to be stupid.
No, it's not. Chris Paul ain't gonna
Stupid.
dribble drive. He's not gonna make defenses collapse. Yeah, they're gonna do all this and that. And Steve Kerr's a
What do
fab.
you mean? That's all he does.
Yeah.
He pops back, does his little mid range, and if they want to cover Steph, I mean CP3 shooting wide open mid range all day is gold. So I don't care.
Anyways,
All
speaking of trades, you know what the Wizards are doing? Bronny James will be in the NBA next year, and they're gonna try to get all 7, 8 first round draft picks.
they're gonna
Bronny.
bring
And
Bronny
then
and LeBron to Washington.
I saw a meme of it today, and I like that's pretty smart. This is the perfect time to tank. Like you didn't get Wimbanyama, so tank out no other. But yeah,
I mean Jordan Poole with the second with big man from France, Bronny, LeBron. I mean, I like that.
I mean, yeah, Wimbanyama Spurs, but like for Washington, like you get those three, Poole, and then you go get another dude. Like, hold the phone, hold up, CP3 might want to come back. But that is all our trade talk, and this was kind of an impromptu trade talk because obviously it was my fault that we waited so long. But like we had to talk about it, and I had to get all my feelings off my chest.
The
About my
stuff is popping. It's popping like popcorn today. So we gotta get it. We gotta get it.
It is. I mean, as we speak, stuff's still going on. But it is the football offseason, and after the NBA, like next episode, we're gonna have like absolutely nothing to talk about because we are a primary NBA, college basketball, college football, and NFL podcast. But our new top 10s are getting people talking. And we're gonna continue on with our top 10s, the Mickey Zizzy top 10s. And this one's a good one. And things might get a little heated. You know, we might even bring up stuff that the other person doesn't even know about. But y'all, Zizzy kind of brought us in. Get your popcorn ready because we're going to the movies. Top 10 best sports movies of all time. So top 10 best sports movie. How we're going to do it is we're each going to go back, add it to our top 10 list, and we're going to put it up and down, all around, all this and that, and we're going to debate where it all should go. Our golf, go check it out last episode. Our golf one went really, really well. I actually have another golf tournament tomorrow. You already know what I'm going to be rocking. Woo! The swag, the apparel, baby.
Gotta get that drip, right? Everybody's got their own style.
And Yank, I'm gonna be selfish. I'm taking the first pick just because I think we can agree on this, and I'm gonna get it out of the bag. I'm putting a number 1 right away. Remember the Titans.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
I was like, is he gonna say no? Yes, but Yank. Okay, remember the Titans. Obviously, it gets people on their feet. It tells such a good story. It's so quotable from the movie. I mean, it has everything you want and like action packed, and it's a staple. It's a classic. And the storyline and the things that it fights during that movie is absolutely amazing. It's been my number 1 sports movie. So lock it in.
And I like to like specify the difference because obviously there's best sports movie that is just like overall everybody kind of can recognize like the sports aspect, the emotions, like like everything that ties into it, like you kind of get it. But obviously then there's like everyone has their own favorite sports movies and stuff like that. So yeah, there might be some bias also in this list and whatever else, but I truly believe across the board Remember the Titans is just universally recognized as an all-time sports movie, and that's got to put it at 1. It's got to put it at 1.
So I'm glad we agree on that. And for me, it's favoritism, it's bias, but at the same time, like you said, it just backs up the story. So, what is our next movie in the top 10 sports movies in the Make It podcast?
I mean, for me, there's not many movies that can compete with Remember the Titans, but if you can, you should be up there, right? You should be up there on that list. For me, I've always had Miracle as a very high movie on the sports list. I don't know why. That's just me. Whether it's the emotions, whether it's tied to, obviously it's based on the United States story, but I've always felt like that's iconic. Like the scene, some of the scenes are iconic. Even you can memorize every line. You got one-liners from all these movies. I'm sure that we're going to talk about, but again, let's go. Move it on.
No,
you're not going to put it in a top 10 at all.
Oh, top 10. Yank, in my personal top 10, I'm not putting Miracle in it, and that'll cause a lot of stir. I get it.
You're
Maybe it's because I'm
insane.
biased towards hockey and I'm not big of a fan. And like I'm a big USA guy, so like that really, really hurts. Okay.
You're
So
insane.
like I know. And I just think there's so many better movies, etc., that can be better than that. But I will let you, because we're talking Universal. This is me being a
Yeah.
little flexible. We
Okay.
can put in the top 10. What do you think about
Okay.
five?
I wouldn't say, yeah, again, I'm not gonna, but again, for me, that's like a favoritism thing where I would bump it up a little bit further than maybe some people, but I've always that's been
Go
up
look
there.
online. Best sports movie Miracle is going to show up. And like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to let my bias take it out of the top 10.
Yeah. But
So
get
five,
it in there, whatever number you guys want to put on it, but five.
five. And yeah, you fine with that?
Yeah, we can start at five.
All right. Starting it at five. Um, so my next pick, which I think this movie's got to be better than Miracle in my eyes, but the next movie, it is another football movie. Obviously, a lot of these are gonna be football, but Lights, Friday Night Movie. It's the story. I mean, I felt like I lived it. With the whole coin flip, this and that. Come on now. And absolutely amazing. I think it's a top. I mean, it's definitely my second favorite. Just the whole storyline and Texas football and all this. So where do you put Friday Night Lights? Because you got to have it on your
I
top.
mean, Friday Night Lights is one of those sports movies that I have watched probably north of 100 times, and every single time that I watch it, I still get chills. I still get a little bit choked up at the end when he's a half a yard short. I mean, God, dude, I can just, you can feel it. I feel like you said, like you feel like you've lived that life. Like I feel like I've lived in that movie in a way. It's not necessarily a state championship, but still, I got like I can relate to every feeling in that movie so much. I love that movie so much. I will gladly put it in. I think it deserves to be in the top 10 universally, regardless. But like for me, yeah, that's very high up.
Three or two? Three, two, four.
Let's go three. Let's go
Okay.
three.
I like that. Okay. Okay. All right. Your next pick.
For me, I'm gonna go ahead and throw probably my favorite movie of all time in there,
Your favorite.
and that is The Replacements. I gotta put The Replacements in there. Just from them talking about from having John Madden in there talking about the Fat Man scores to going through everybody's backstory. Clifford Franklin. I mean, come on, man. Like, come on, it's Clifford Franklin. I absolutely love everything that has to do with that movie. It's just, and then even the closing scenes. I mean, it isn't just like there's the humor that is involved, but it's all pertaining to sports pretty much the entire time throughout the whole movie, and then the ending sports scene is one of the best. I mean, pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever. Let's go, baby. I absolutely love this stuff.
Shane
I live for
Falco.
this. Shane Falco, baby.
Yank. I actually saw this movie again. I think I was randomly sitting at this summer, and I'm like, man, this movie's so good. It's definitely my top 10. And it fluctuates just because some of these other movies. So it's like not my favorite. It's probably not even my top 5 just based on how I like my movies.
Yeah, and like
But
I said, that's a personal bias. I don't know where it goes,
I
but it's
felt
got to
like
be.
you and I like the replacements more because we love the story. Like I love everything about it too. It's just there's a lot of good sports movies. It's
The
hard.
scabs.
This like is it above Miracle? Are you putting it above Miracle?
No, I don't think it can go
Okay.
above
Okay.
Miracle.
So what about 7 then? Like I still want
I
to
would
place it high.
gladly give it a 7.
Okay. I love it too. Like when they're all dancing in the jail cell and like the coach comes in like kind of happy, like first time y'all ever did something together. Um so yeah,
Yeah,
replacement
right.
7. That's high. I think we're gonna get a little beef on that, but 7, I like it with the replacements. Now we've had a lot of football yanks, so I'm gonna change the sport on my next pick to add to the top 10. And this movie, it still gets me hyped. It's such a good, especially from a coach point of things.
Oh, please say it.
Coach Carter. Come on.
Yes. Hey, let's go, dude.
I mean,
I know we've watched this movie a few
yes.
times,
And just
but
the guy, he's like, if you don't got a tie, go get one for steal it off of no, that's from Remember the Titans.
yeah.
Man, like I'm trying to quote all these different type of movies. But like
Yeah,
Uh,
but no, he still talks about if you don't have a tie, go to Goodwill. Are you
yeah,
too good for Goodwill?
go steal it off a guy from a homeless street. But I think that's one of the times now I want to be like looking back at all these movies and give me a reason to watch them. But
No,
Coach Carter
they
from
both talk about it
okay, they do.
specifically because there is a
Um,
dress code scene. Don't worry, you're good. You're
yeah.
good.
Okay, good. And like with him making up all the running laps, like that's awesome. And then like, oh, I'm not gonna respect you. He tries to throw a punch and he puts him and he's like, lucky for you, I'm not a teacher. I'm like, let's go. And like locking out of school, academics first. I'm like, this is what I should show my kids for like to teach. Like, look.
Yeah.
And
To me that gets elevated so much because that's way more. It's way more than just a sports movie. Like that is
more than
just
basketball, yeah.
100% life lessons through and through. I mean, you see hard times, struggling kids, and somebody that goes out of their way to make sure that they have morals, that they have responsibilities, accountability, that they know what's important in life, that you're not supposed to end up on the streets, that you're supposed to be worth something and hold yourself to a higher regard. That it's a beautiful way of incorporating it, but then on top of that, these boys undefeated, homeboy. You know
And,
what
then-
I mean? Like,
and
come
like all the
on.
excitement, and then there's like sad parts. Remember, like his homeboy gets shot, and he like goes
Yeah.
sad, all this and that. So, yeah,
100% for me, I would put it in a top five, but that's
four
up
or
to
two
you.
then, like four. Are we?
Is it better than Friday Night Lights? I don't know about that.
Okay, so four. I definitely think it's way better than Miracle, but that's agree
I
to
mean, I'll
disagree.
give you. I mean, I'm not going to be
Hey,
upset about it. Like I said, Miracle is just a personal.
it
Like
has to it has to make the
I
list.
feel some type of way watching that movie.
Gotcha. All right, Mr. Zizzy, we have our 1, 3, 4, and 7. Add another one to the list. Pardon my hiccup.
This is where now we're going to start getting into like where now we're going to start seeing how we all like view this stuff. I'm going to throw out one that maybe not many people would think about right now, but I think it's definitely got it. The Sandlot. I think that is worth a mention. Is it
I
going to be top 10? I don't know because there's 7 other movies on here that are very good that I'm thinking about right now. But
I like
The
it because you have to
Sandlot.
obviously add the best sports. Like the best baseball movie has to be on here. The
Oh,
best basketball. So
I cover every sport, baby. Let's
I do
go.
too. So I feel like we should put Sandlot at 10. It is great. It's funny. It tells a good story. The whole
You're
dog,
killing me, Smalls.
killing me Smalls. He fakes like dying and the lifeguard comes saves him. Like funny, right? I say we put it at 10, and if it drops to an honorable mention, but like at least we like thought of it in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? All
And
right.
maybe, yeah, maybe it's more about the dog than it is about the sport, but who cares? All right. Well, if it gets bumped, it gets bumped. We'll put it at 10.
Gotcha. Well, my next one is we're gonna be jumping around sports, but I'm combining this because I definitely think it is. I go back and watch this movie and I'm like, it's still good. It's definitely like your classic montage. This and that. Adrian, Rocky has to be in it, dude. Rocky has to be in it. I mean, you can't have a top 10 list of sports movies without Rocky in it, and I'm okay with it being 9 or 10. Like it just has to be in the top 10. It has to make the dance.
I'm at 8.
I love it. I love that. The Rocky saga. And people are like, oh, you can't combine them. Yes, we can. Obviously, everyone has
Yes,
their
because let's
favorites.
be real. All right, Rocky 1 through 4 are all absolutely timepiece
Yes.
classics. Like they are all great in their own right. Rocky 5 is where is it takes a little bit of a dip, but it's still good. And I still like even the brand new ones when he was much older. I just love the Rocky
And the
saga, but 1 through 4 absolutely incredible.
and that's what we're talking about when we say Rocky saga. We're saying 1 through 4. You got to have it. It's the best boxing movie. It's like invented good boxing movies. You know what I'm saying? Like every boxing movie looked towards that.
I mean,
So
think of the best boxing movies in modern times. It's Creed, and that is literally an extension of Rocky.
yes, which we'll talk about. What's your next one? Add it to the list.
The next one that I got is an old one, the Hoosiers. Hoosiers for me. It's a very old one,
It's
and I
good.
don't know how you're gonna feel about it, but for me, it's just that's another one of those like older classics that I just can't let go.
Old heads who listen are gonna totally agree with you. And when you look up any other expert list, like Hoosiers is gonna be on it, so I can't get mad at you. I'd love to put it at
Because
9.
it's almost got the Coach Carter vibes. I
It
mean,
does, and it's
he's
Indiana. Like legit, the Hoosiers are popular because of that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like Indiana was put on the map. Whatever you else want to say about it. Yeah, I think 9.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can put it. Yeah, if you wait. Hey, we got 9 open right
Yep, we have it open. Let's put it there. Oh my goodness, dude, do we really only have 2 slots left? Yikes, we have our 2 and our 6, and we are gonna be moving stuff around. I have a feeling. Now, people are gonna get upset at this next pick, Yank.
now.
I still consider this a sports movie. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Dodgeball has to be on the list. It is the only dodgeball movie out there, I feel like. And super quotable. The story is amazing. People still have the Halloween costumes of the average Joes, right? It's a true underdog story. I'm like, Yank, I could go on and on about how great this movie is. And when you watch it, you just have a good laugh as well. It's a comedy, but some of these, the replacement was more of comedy, I mean, it was kind of a comedy as well.
Yeah, because like I did make the argument. There's some that I feel like could be on the list as sports movies, but it's like I feel like it's more based on the humor than the sport.
But Dodgeball,
Even though dodgeball is hilarious throughout, they really everything is tied to the sport of dodgeball. Everything is like it's. Does it
Put it at
knock off
6.
Sandlot? Does it go higher than that?
We do have the 6 open, so we could put it on the list, and then maybe one of yours we knock out Sandlot because I think it should be
Okay.
up.
All right. We'll put it at 6 then.
Dodgeball makes it. I'm happy for that one. I was gonna fight it tooth and nail. So Yank, this is where things get dicey, just like you said. We have our number 2 open just in case we forgot one. Maybe you did, but I don't think I can have any that's gonna take that. But we might knock out Hoosiers and Sandlot. That's kind of what I'm thinking on our list. Let's get dicey. Let's get down to it.
Well, we're talking about going across all sports. Does Caddyshack have to be on the list?
I knew you were gonna say that.
That's a question.
Personally,
It's a great movie.
no. I don't think it makes my top 25 for favorites.
That's such hate, bro. That's such hate.
I look at your hat. I like Happy Gilmore more than Caddyshack.
I mean, you're not wrong. But dang, as an actual like, that's a classic. Okay, we can scratch it. It'll be a personal list. They can fight us on it.
Hey, yep. Honorable mention. It's definitely an honorable mention. It's like 12. It's the first one out, first 4 out.
All right, what you got?
I was gonna let you go again since your pick did not make it,
Oh,
but I would love to take it. I would
don't
love
know.
to take
I
it.
mean,
I am going to put in, and I'm mad we don't have it, but just because I'm like an inner GM in me,
I actually have it on my list right now for movies to discuss.
so we have to put it on.
Is it better than? I mean, it's probably better than I would watch Moneyball before I watch Hoosiers right now.
Oh, 100%. So are we gonna leave the Sandlot on and bump Hoosiers out for Moneyball?
That's the thing. I have other movies that I'm gonna bump. I would bump Sandlot off, so I feel like we're gonna have to take Sandlot
So
off.
the inevitable Sandlot.
Yeah. Sandlot and Hoosiers gone.
Both of them?
No,
Or-
all right.
Or
Like
we
you
put
said, yeah,
Moneyball.
Moneyball. Okay.
Moneyball 9.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Moneyball 9. For people who don't know, we're making
All right. All right. All right.
So our 10 is now open.
So we have a 2 and a 10 open.
All right, Yank, you're up. I got Moneyball in. I'm happy. I got the Moneyball in.
Woo! Can it fit on there? And is it enough of a trick? I think it's enough of a sport. The Blind Side.
I mean, of course, it's legit a sports. Like, okay, I believe it or not, Yank, it's not on my personal top 10, but if I'm making a top 20, it's obviously on there because of the greatness of.
I would also kind of want to agree with that.
right? Like, but look at all these other movies, and The Blind Side is great. Like, I would be fine putting it at 10. Like, it is a solidified 10 is as high as I'll put it. Because I think it still can make the dance, right? It has, SJ, it has this, it tells an amazing story. Calling him on the sideline, enough with the trick plays, run the dang ball. Like, come on. Put it at 10. I like it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, what does it hurt to put it at 10 if it gets bumped? It doesn't hurt. All right.
So I'll be honest, really don't have a number 2. And maybe we just make Friday nights number 2 and we go later on, and that's something we can
something
do.
else on. Well, like, all right, well, like, let's just start throwing out movies and be
Okay.
like, hang on.
Speed
Is that
round.
better? Is that better than what is currently on our list?
Have you seen the new
It's fantastic.
Dude, it's amazing.
I love fantastic.
Is that an honorable mention though? Like,
I don't think it deserves to be on the top 10.
Okay. Not yet. Like, people actually saw it like in theaters, y'all, like the whole story.
I just don't think anything other than the Rocky saga is gonna make this top 10 list, boxing wise.
Okay, fine. Creed,
as much as I love the Creed series and as great as the new Creed movie is, the new Creed movie, I also think they make that jump so quick. I think Jonathan Majors does an amazing job in that movie, by the way. He makes that movie go. But I mean, I also think that they flip a switch so quick in that movie, and it all happens really fast.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Your rattle off one.
Excuse again. So we have some humor in it. So does Happy Gilmore make a list?
You will not make this putt.
You will not. And I think that we're more biased now. I mean, I'm wearing the hat for God's sake. Okay.
If you ask the people of our generation, they're gonna say Happy Gilmore could possibly make the list.
I would put Happy Gilmore over.
It is the best golf movie
every day.
It is the best golf movie in my eyes.
I would agree, and I would watch it. And this is me. I would watch it before I watch Hoosiers, Moneyball, or Blindside.
So let's put it at 9. No, let's put it at. Let's move Friday night. Okay, hear me out. We're gonna move.
You want to move Blindside out?
No, hear me out. We're gonna move Friday Night Lights up 2. We're gonna move up the list, y'all.
Yeah, we did that already.
What?
We already moved it to 2.
I didn't do that yet on mine. I say we put Happy Gilmore. It does make the list. Wow. At 8, I think it's the best golf movie out there, and it's our generation, I guess. Moneyball and The Blind Side's 10. So right now we have our top 10, but if we talk about some of these honorable mentions, we might knock out The Blind Side. Are you fine with
what? I thought Hoosiers was in front of Moneyball.
Hoosiers is out, dude. I knocked it out.
Was it out? Was it out?
Okay. Yeah, I knocked it out. I think that's where we had the miss. Okay. Don't worry, y'all. We're gonna have the whole layover ready.
All right.
So we have our top 10, but we have to let's mention the honorable mentions and see if it takes out The Blind Side or Moneyball.
Yeah.
You brought up Happy Gilmore. I think it's a great one. Gridiron Gang. I know it won't make the top 10, but that's Mia Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, Fanboy.
Which one did you say?
Gridiron Gang.
Oh, I thought you said Game Plan, and I was like, "Yo, come on, bro, stop."
That's not an honorable mention. But Gridiron
Gang, double G's, GG's is real.
But honorable mention, we'll put it there just because, like, no one would agree with me of it being a top 10. It's one of my top 10 sports movies just because, like, I am me.
Willie Weathers.
Willie Weathers. I've come for Willie Weathers in it. We are not leaving till you knock me. Anyway, I would go all day. Give another honorable mention if you have another. Otherwise, I have 2 more.
I got a couple.
Yep, I got 2 more.
Yeah, I got a few, honestly. I didn't think it was going to be on here at all. And I don't know if it was more sports related or just story thing. I always think went all sports. I went all of them. So I was like Karate Kid. Karate Kid put it out there. But that I mean that's
Karate a sport.
It's a classic. But is that what you want? So I'm not going to throw that on there.
Karate Kid can be honorable mention. It could be,
Yeah.
It's talked about. It got some votes.
For me, you're talking like top baseball movies. For me, I think Major League deserves a shot.
I don't, but we can put it on there for you. Your little shout
No,
out.
no, I'm not saying it should be necessarily better than, I mean, maybe Blindside. It would be shooting for 10. But
No.
okay.
I put that out real quick.
All right. All right.
Wow, right.
What else you got?
The Longest Yard.
Oh gosh, I love those movies, man. And
And
it's not even, and it's both of them. They're both great.
yes. Oh no, I just thought of another one that is really gonna mess up our list. Anyway, Longest Yard, honorable mention. You're okay with it?
I would put Longest Yard over Blindside.
Oh snap! I
I'd put Longest Yard as a football movie before Blindside as a football movie, 100%.
I mean them in jail. I don't see him. I'm gonna have to, I like Blindside though because it's based on a true story. You know what I'm saying? It tells a good story. Like if we're competing against the two.
I think that story is more about the off the field stuff than sports.
But like with the college recruiting too, like that's fun. You don't see that too much in movies. Like
I lived it. I don't need to see it.
anyway, it doesn't make top 10.
It doesn't.
I'm being mean.
I mean, come on.
Well, here's the reason why. Any given Sunday.
Oh! Yeah, that screws it up.
That's one I just thought about.
All
Like
right,
the
where does
speech
that go? That's gotta
is,
go.
and oh, what's his name? I can't think of the quarterback's name.
Does
Jamie Foxx.
that go? Is that better than Rocky?
No,
Is it better? It's gotta be 8. It's gotta be 8.
I think Happy Gilmore's better. More people know Happy Gilmore than Any Given Sunday. We love Any Given Sunday because we're football people, and like the older folk know Any Given Sunday. So I would put it at 9 at the highest.
All right, so any given Sunday at 9, and that makes Moneyball 10. Ooh. Ooh.
I think a lot of people are gonna hate that um Blindsides on it or off of it and the replacements is on it. But
The replacements deserves that. I don't care. I don't
Anyway,
care. They can fight me.
that was one of the ones, and my last one I do have to bring up is it's okay. I'm okay with it being a honorable mention, but Shake and Bake Ricky Bobby. Talladega
Oh,
Nights. Dude, like the racing movie, the only racing movie you probably actually like besides Cars and Cars 3,
yeah,
like
but we all know
it maybe
that's
what
more
Herbie.
like a Step Brothers vibe than it is sport. You
One
can't.
one hundred
Oh,
percent it
oh
is.
wow, what a movie! I literally was quoting it yesterday. Don't you stick that knife in your leg? Like
Don't you
don't like.
don't you wish that upon me,
Yeah,
Ricky
hey,
Bobby?
like yo. Oh, that is
Dear
so.
Lord, baby Jesus, 7 pounds, 3 ounces.
Yeah.
I like thinking my Jesus in uh rocking out, and I'm
Kilo
front row
Colombian
tuxedo.
Bam Bam.
We throw your war medals off the bridge. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. I'm gonna come at you like a spider
The
monkey.
spider monkey. Let's go.
If we
I got two. I got two left
all right.
to try and make the list. And I hope I'm not forgetting some that are just so blatantly obvious.
Last thing though, like Talladega Nights, that hurts, dude. Like this, like how many things we
Oh,
just. Oh, I
that
get it.
hurts.
It's not a sports movie. It's more of a comedy compared to Dodgeball for sure.
Yes.
Anyway, hit me
But
with it.
God, you spilled my macchiato.
You see, I say I love grapes. What's a grape? It's like a thin pancake. Oh, sounds kind
Oh
of
my
nice.
God, the one-liners are off the chain. Okay. All right. I got 3. I
All
lied. I
right,
got
three.
3
I'm
that
out.
had to just get mentioned. I personally don't really even enjoy the movie, which is a weird thing to say. Rudy. I don't like it that much. I've
I
never been a
like
big
it.
Rudy fan
It deserves to be talked about, but this is the matter we're going to talk about. Like, it's a good
because
movie.
it's a universally known and acclaimed film. We know.
Yes, but I think all these top 10 are better. So,
Yeah. I just as a movie, I can't sit down and watch it very often. It's not my favorite.
Cat, another one.
The Program. I don't think it's gonna end up making the list, but as an older movie, one of the best football movies in my opinion. hands down.
We just said
Starting defense. Place at the table. Let's go.
we have 4 movies in our top 10. Like, I'm taking Gridiron Gang anyway. That's
No, it's not. It's not
We'll
going to
put it
make it. I
honorable
already
mention.
knew it. I already knew it. I just have to let people know
yeah, of course.
that I'm out there. I respect it.
The
all right?
program
I'm here.
fans, you just heard it.
Program. And then my last one, and this honestly, I think it deserves more than just waving it off because there's literally an entire franchise based off of this movie, The Mighty Ducks.
No, I'm not.
I hate you. I hate how easily you dismiss that.
I think it's just the hockey movies. I can't get behind the like hyping up the hockey
Gosh,
movies.
you are. Have you ever watched an NHL playoff game? It's amazing.
Because you know what I just thought of, Yank? I just thought of this. All right. Semi-pro. We don't even have it on the list, and I'm mad at myself I didn't have it. I'm an idiot.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro was half of it was
Moon,
real.
baby.
Jackie Moon, Love Me Sexy. Like, they actually fought bears back in the ABAs so that they get our whatever the league was called, so they could actually get fans there. Like, it was an actually thing. Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. Like, that is a way bigger honorable mention. That might be above Blindside for my honorable mentions, but I'll put it at
Leave it. If that's it, that's all I got. I can't argue anymore.
Semi-pros and honorable mention, people. And I should have gave it more love. I'm taking full blame for that. But this list
We
is
have an official list.
all right. I'll run it. Here it is. Our final list of the Mickey Zizzy podcast top 10 best sports movies of all time. Remember the Titans at 1, Friday Night Lights at 2, Coach Carter at 3, Miracle at 4, Dodgeball at 5, The Replacements at 6, The Rocky Saga at 7, Happy Gilmore at 8, Any Given Sunday at 9, and number 10, Moneyball. I feel like I can back up this list. That's all I got to say. We went to war.
I did clap, but like I am in so much favor and support of that list. Oh my gosh.
I can back that list up.
I'll proudly get mine.
And we can see some of them being flip-flopped there in the middle. And then like,
oh no, I dare somebody to come up in the street and try me on this list right now.
Too funny. Well, y'all, it's been a longer episode because of that top 10 list. We definitely got into it. It went a little bit longer than I expected, but that's awesome because we are debating all about it. So, Zizzy, is there anything else after this action-packed episode?
No, I mean, NBA offseason is gonna be crazy. Dame Lillard from the South Beach, we got no income tax in Florida. It's pretty nice. It might be raining every now and then in the summer, but I'm telling you, come wintertime, you're gonna love not being in the snow. So that's my little speech for Dame Lillard. On top of that, one more time, Mark Mace, man. I mean, I will forever have this, and I will always think of him every time.
Yep.
So,
hey, call your mama, call your grandma, tell them you love them. How about it?
Love you, Mark Mace. Good man.
Love Mark Mace. Sign us off.
If you're talking sports, just a matchup. Mickey here with Zizzy. Yeah, we cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is, the Mickey Zizzy podcast. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
Peace.